Konyak Civil Society Organization extends deadline served earlier on state government by another 10 days, with effect from January 15 with regards to demand for justice for Otting killings. Non-fulfillment of demands results to Konyak abstaining from participation in all national events. Aboy District Demand Committee demands government of Nagaland to declare Aboy into full-fledged district on or before 23rd January 2022, following to which the committee warns of taking up its own course of action and demands concerned authority to take matter under serious consideration. An outbreak of African swine fever in Nagaland declared in Mokokchung and Pek district by State Animal Husbandry and Veterinary Services Department. Outbreak confirmed through the RT-PCR real-time polymerase chain reaction test for the sample submitted from Longjongkong and Satya villages under Mokokchung district and Kuzato village, Wazeho block under Pek district. India celebrates 74th Army Day with tremendous zeal on January 15, and it commemorates Field Marshal Kondandra Madappa Karyappa, first Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army. Indian Army's parachute regime commandos marched during the Army Day parade in the new digital combat uniform of the Indian Army. Celebrating innovation ecosystem, Prime Minister Narendra Modi interacts with over 150 startups from various fields on Saturday. Startups are going to be the backbone of New India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi declares that January 16 will be celebrated as National Startup Day. Hello and welcome to Nltv Primetime News. I'm Rinki Gogoi and let's begin with the news in detail. The Aboy District Demand Committee submitted a letter to the Nagaland's Chief Minister Nltv Rio on Saturday. The letter noted that Aboy's demand of district has been unfulfilled and ignored by the government for a very long time. Therefore, the response and retaliation of the citizens will be undemocratic and ultimately the government will be held responsible for any of the consequences. The ADDC has submitted an ultimatum to the government to declare Aboy into a full-fledged district on or before 23rd January 2022, failing to which the ADDC will take up its course of action, henceforth letting the concerned authority take action into serious consideration. A high-level meeting of senior police officers led by DGP John T. Longcomer was held at Police Complex Chumukidima on Friday. The meeting was for scheduling the law and order and to assess the situation of Dimapur and was attended by several senior officers including ADG Sandeep M. Tamgadge. DG Longcomer assured that Nagaland Police is prepared to play its role in shouldering responsibility in maintaining law and order in view of suspension of operations by Indian Army and Assam Rifles in the state against the backdrop of the Otting incidents. Moreover, Longcomer claimed that the overall law and order situation had improved in Dimapur and also appreciated the achievements of the police. DGP Longcomer in his address assured that security would be reinforced with more checking, frisking and focus on drunken driving, and that Dimapur police would be strengthened further in light of Dimapur being divided into 3 districts.
Dimapur CP and his team have achieved quite a lot, but yet we want to sensitize ourselves about his requirements, logistics requirements, manpower requirements, weapons requirements. And that's why all the concerned officers are here. We have decided on several things that we will further reinforce Dimapur. There will be more frisking, more checking. We had a couple of bad accidents, drunken driving. So on this also, we will give attention. The FIR has been lodged. It is in the cognizance of the courts. So now we cannot, reveal the details, which you may be keen to know, because of the way the legal system works. So we have given the broad outlines. The investigation as such on the ground, that is over, but we will still require the...
Amidst the growing clamor to put out the Special Investigation Team's preliminary report in public, the government of India, the government of Nagaland has, on December 4th, noting Tiru incident, public ADG Sandeep M. Tamgadge has clarified that this was not legally tenable. Tamgadge, who is the supervisor of the SIT team, in his address at the police headquarters press conference on Thursday explained that since FIR was registered under Section 154 CRPC, it was submitted to the Court of Law and Order, and therefore the result of investigation was supposed to be shared only with the court. He further pointed out that putting the preliminary report in public domain when the investigation was incomplete was not justifiable. The ADG also cited that forensic samples have been collected from the site and sent to Guwahati and Hyderabad Forensic Science Laboratories for tests, and results were awaited. Meanwhile, the SIT team, headed by Lima Sunub Jamir as the Chief Investigation Officer, briefed the press and media on the preliminary report regarding the Otting incident. During the press conference, the SIT made it known that it was divided into 8 teams, of which teams 4 were tasked with the responsibility of inquiry with different witnesses. 1 team with cyber analysis and 1 team who were for the documentation of the Otting incident, 1 team for recreating the scene. According to the SIT, empty ammunition and other items of evidence were collected from the crime scene.
I'm going to reiterate the same. There is a senior officer who has been detailed with the task of coordinating and requesting for expeditious completion of the forensic analysis. However, and from the PHQ side also, we have requested both the CFSL at Guwahati and Hyderabad that looking at the sensitivity of the nature of the offence, the forensic analysis be expedited and the report be submitted as soon as possible. However, please understand that for any forensic analysis, depending on the
Governor Professor Jagdish Mukhi's wife, Priyam Mukhi, tested positive for COVID-19 on Friday morning, coming this after Governor Mukhi tested positive for COVID-19 on Thursday. Reportedly, she has been admitted to Apollo Hospital in Guwahati for treatment alongside Professor Mukhi. As per reports, Governor Mukhi is in good health and responding well to treatment. Meanwhile, his wife, Priyam Mukhi, is also doing well. Tobu Town Students Union body organized a free-wheel social work at Community Health Center Tobu on Saturday. The main aim was to keep the Community Health Center of Tobu neat and clean. The president of the union, Shelan Jacob, stated that although they cannot help the patient from getting well, they can at least help to keep the medical compound neat and clean to avoid outbreak of any unexpected sickness. Meanwhile, a total of 35 to 40 students participated in the social work. The Tobu Area Students Union has issued a press communique on 38 Tasu Federal Assembly. The release stated that the 38 Tasu Federal Assembly will be held on 18 January 2022, 9 a.m. at Youth Hall, Tobu headquarters. The release informed that during the assembly, other developmental issues and pressing needs of the area will also be discussed. In this regard, President, Vice President, General Secretary, Sports Secretary and Education Secretary of all the federating units, VCC, VC and VOB Secretary of all the villages under Tobu area, President and General Secretary of KVCU, Tobu Unit, Tobu Area GB Association, KNSK Tobu Unit, Tata and former TASU officials were requested to attend the meeting without fail. The executive meeting will be held on 17 January 2022, 4 p.m. at the residence of President TASU. And Bongkao Konyak, Honorable Advisor Duda has consented to grace the event as a special invitee. The 65th Kohima Village Sports Association will be hosted by Kohima Village Youth Organization on 17 January 2022 at Kusochize Ground. State Chief Minister Nipu Rio will grace the event as a special guest. 65th KVSM Meet Convener Nengusile Krumo, in his address to a press conference, informed that over 1,000, including 150 sportsmen from all 4 KELs of Kohima Village, will be participating in the various events in the 6 days affair. The opening ceremony will witness 10 torch bearers who will be passing on the torch from the Vokemuzi, the event venue where the first meet will start, and Kujochize Ground under 16 wrestling, volleyball and basketball team will be the highlights of the opening day. Krumo also informed that 5,000-meter race for men, 4x400 mixed rally race and triple jump for women are some of the new events added during this meet. He further informed that all the sports persons, including the coaches, has taken their COVID-19 vaccine, and the organizers will be strictly maintaining to check all spectators to maintain the laid SOPs by the government during the 6 days event.
As we have discussed in the previous press conference, the schedule for the 65th KVSA meet was from 17th to 22nd of January. And our Chief Minister, Honorable Chief Minister Srini Purio, will grace the occasion as special guest. And this year we'll have an inaugural function here at the local ground. And it will start at 10 a.m. And that's how we will start. And the main attraction of that day will be under 16 wrestling meet. After that, we'll have a volleyball men and women match here in the local ground. Basketball, there will be 2 matches here in the local ground. That is the schedule for the first day. The changes that we have made for this event is the second day, the third day, and the fourth day, we scheduled 3 days as an athletic event that will take place for athletic events in the morning shift. And in the evening shift, we'll have the football match at the IG Stadium. So that's how it will go on. Indoor games, chess, previously in our previous games we played at night, but this year the chess will also be a day event. Likewise, the table tennis and the badminton will also start at 12 on the third day and the fourth day. And so we don't have much night event. But we introduced one late evening event, that is the football final. The football final that will be played on Friday, the 21st of January at the IG Stadium at 5 p.m. And that will be another attraction for the 65th KVSM meet. And the last day, as usual, we'll start here at 9. By 11:30, the cross-country race will start from TCP Gate. And it will proceed from TCP Gate to Rasa Point, to Pesilicie, to Don Bosco Higher Secondary School, Don Bosco College, to KAK BSF camp, to Sikazu, to Rasa Point again, and to local ground. And the closing, a very simple.
The Chakisang community on Saturday celebrated the Sukrinia festival in the amphitheater at Sulofi village, Dimapur. Sukrinia is one of the harvest festivals of the Chakisang Nagas of Nagaland and is celebrated in the month of January. During the festival, boys and girls are sanctified through religious ceremonies and rituals. This festival is a time of joyful celebration, and so people do anticipate and celebrate with great significance and enthusiasm by the Chakisang community of Nagaland. The special guest for the occasion was Mr. Ajeto Jimomi, member of the Nagaland Legislative Assembly.
Today, the Chakisang community of Selupia Model Village is celebrating Sukrinia Festival. Sukrinia is one of the most important festivals for the Chakisang people. It is a New Year festival. It is a festival of purification and blessings. It's a celebration of life that God has given to us. Therefore, I would like to share a few things about the significance of this Sukrinia festival. Sukrinia festival is traditionally observed for 10 days. However, today we observe for only 1 day. On the first day of Sukrinia, the whole village community will observe Gina and celebrate this festival, singing together, dancing together. On the second day, there will be purification festival for the menfolk. Early in the morning, all the menfolk will go to the village commonwealth and take bath.
India celebrated 74th Army Day with tremendous zeal on January 15. It commemorates Field Marshal Kodandira Madappa Cariappa, who has been the Commander-in-Chief of the Indian Army. Indian Army's Parachute Regiment commandos marched during the Army Day parade in the new digital combat uniform of the Indian Army. This is the first time that the uniform has been unveiled in public. Notably, the day is marked by conducting a military parade every year, and many other martial displays are at Delhi Cantonment's Cariappa Parade Ground. It is celebrated at all Army command offices across the country and the headquarters in New Delhi. This day is a matter of great pride for every Indian, as the whole country salutes them for the sacrifices they make each day for the country. However, the Indian Army Day is a celebration of not only the brave soldiers, but also the transfer of power from the British rule to India.
और मीडिया जगत के साथियों को तहे दिल से मेरी हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं और जय हिंद। सबसे पहले मैं पुरस्कार विजेताओं और यूनिट साइटेशन प्राप्त करने वाले यूनिट्स को मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूं। शाबाश। राष्ट्र को और सेना को आपके उपलब्धि पर अत्यंत गर्व है। आज की शानदार परेड में हिस्सा लेने वाले सभी ऑफिसर्स, जैसे और जवानों को भी एक प्रभावशाली परेड के लिए मेरी शाबाशी। वेल डन। देश की रक्षा एक सैनिक का सर्वोच्च धर्म है, चाहे इसके लिए उसे अपने प्राण भी क्यों ना न्योछावर करने पड़े। आज हम उन शहीदों को याद करते हैं।
Indian Army Chief General Manoj Mukund Naravane inspected the parade at Cariappa Parade Ground in Delhi Cantonment on January 15. General Naravane addressed the public on the occasion of the 74th Army Day and spoke on a host of issues concerning the security of the country. He saluted the soldiers who laid down their lives for India and its citizenry. General spoke on the status quo at India's borders and hinted at Chinese incursions. Meanwhile, he stated that to keep the situation under control, the 14th meeting took place recently. Talking about the situation along the LOC, the Army Chief said that it is better than the previous year, but Pakistan is still harboring terrorists. He also asserted that morale of the soldiers deployed on snow-capped mountains for the country's security was sky high. Further, India's role in the United Nations peacekeeping missions was also mentioned.
सबसे पहले मैं पुरस्कार विजेताओं और यूनिट साइटेशन प्राप्त करने वाले यूनिट्स को मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूं। शाबाश। राष्ट्र को और सेना को आपके उपलब्धियों पर अत्यंत गर्व है। आज की शानदार परेड में हिस्सा लेने वाले सभी ऑफिसर्स जैसे और जवानों को भी एक प्रभावशाली परेड के लिए मेरी शाबाशी। वेल डन। देश की रक्षा एक सैनिक का सर्वोच्च धर्म है, चाहे इसके लिए उसे अपने प्राण भी क्यों ना न्योछावर करने पड़े। आज हम उन शहीदों को
On the occasion of the 74th Army Day, the world's largest national flag, known as the Monumental National Flag, has been displayed in Rajasthan, Jaisalmer. The Khadi tricolor was displayed along the India-Pakistan border at Longiwala in the western parts of Jaisalmer district. The Monumental National Flag measures 225 feet long, 150 feet wide and weighs approximately 1,400 kilograms. It took 49 days for 70 Khadi artisans to prepare the flag. Notably, the flag covers a total area of 33,750 square feet. Meanwhile, the public in display in Longiwala is the fifth such show of the flag, which was inaugurated in Leh last year on the occasion of Gandhi Jayanti. Five people have reportedly died after consumption of poisonous liquor in Bihar's Nalanda district on Friday. As per reports, 3 persons died allegedly due to the consumption of hook in Manipur, while 2 died in Choti Pahari, while the local people and the family members of the deceased people are alleging that the deaths due to the consumption of poisonous liquor. However, no official confirmation has been issued by the district administration so far. Reportedly, the police visited the spot and is investigating the matter.
अच्छा
4 दिन से तो पी रहे हैं कि तो अचानक पेट में दर्द हुआ, उल्टी होने लगा तो ले गए डॉक्टर तो डॉक्टर रेफर कर दिया कि खट्टा में आदमी।
अच्छा, कल भी दारू पिए थे?
हाँ।
अच्छा,
मंगले से पी रहे हैं।
अच्छा, क्या काम करते थे?
बस बॉडी में काम करते थे।
अच्छा, क्या नाम है इनका?
मेरा नाम मिस्त्री।
आपका क्या नाम हुआ?
ज्योति देवी।
कौन लगते हैं आप?
पापा है।
एक तरफ आप कहते हो विश्व स्वास्थ्य की बहुत चिंता है, जहरीली शराब से मर रहे हैं और जहरीली शराब की कम मात्रा से किडनी और लीवर खराब होना है, इसकी कोई गणना नहीं है।
कितने की मौत की बात सामने आ रही है?
हमें समझ से अभी तक जो सूचना मिला है 6 व्यक्ति नालंदा जिला में हलाक हो चुके हैं।
क्या पिए थे सब?
सब जहरीली शराब, जो शराब का कुटीर उद्योग बना दिया है, ये तो पैरेलल इकोनॉमी खड़ी करवा रहे हैं अपने लोगों से। आपको पता नहीं है कि नालंदा जिला में प्रतिदिन 2 ट्रक शराब उतारा जा रहा है। क्या करेगा?
क्या नाम लिखते हैं?
A Delhi-bound Rajdhani Express train hit a cement pillar near Valsad in South Gujarat on Saturday. According to police, the suspected miscreants had placed the pillar on the railway track in an attempt to derail the premium train from Mumbai on Friday evening. However, no injury was reported from the incident. The police cited that on being alerted, senior police and railway officials rushed to the spot. An FIR was lodged against the unidentified miscreants at the Valsad Rural Police Station. And efforts are on to nab the culprit using the technical, surveillance and human intelligence, the Valsad Rural Police officials said. The Election Commission on Saturday held a meeting with the Union Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, Chief Secretaries and Health Secretaries of Goa, Manipur, Punjab, Uttarakhand and Uttar Pradesh, and also the Chief Electoral Officers of these 5 poll-going states. ECI stated that it has extended ban on physical rallies and road shows until 22nd January 2022. Further, the ECI granted relaxation for the political parties to hold indoor meetings of up to 300 people for 50% of the capacity of the hall or the prescribed limit set by SDMA. Meanwhile, the Commission directed political parties to adhere to the provisions of MCC and the board guidelines of the COVID-19 and directed states of district administrations to ensure compliance of all instructions related to MCC and COVID-19. The Philippines has approved $374.96 million contract to BrahMos Aerospace to supply shore-based anti-ship missiles from India. While discussions are going on with few other Southeast Asian countries, the Secretary of National Defense of Philippines, Delphine Lorenzana, has signed a notice of award for the purchase, and contract is being expected to be signed very soon. The development comes on the backdrop of the Philippine government's push for Make in India in defense and its stress on Atmanirbhar Bharat. India is likely to beg more orders for the missile system from friendly countries, as it is negotiating at an advanced stage with some other nations too. What may be another surprise for Indian cricket fans, star cricketer Virat Kohli has stepped down as a guest captain of the Indian cricket team after the series defeat against South Africa. Kohli took to Twitter to make the announcement. Kohli, who is the India's most successful test captain with 40 wins in 68 matches, left the T20 captaincy after India's dismal run in ICC T20 World Cup last year and was replaced by Rohit Sharma in 50-over format last month. He had replaced MS Dhoni as a full-time test captain in the 2014-15 season. The former skipper thanked BCCI, former head coach Ravi Shastri and MS Dhoni in his statement on social media. Under Kohli, India became a mighty force and dominated every team at home and retained at the top of the ICC Test rankings for 5 consecutive years. Under his leadership, India also made it to the finals of inaugural World Test Championship in 2021, eventually losing against New Zealand. Novak Djokovic was detained in Australia on Saturday after authorities ripped up his visa for a second time and declared the unvaccinated tennis superstar to threat to the public. According to court documents, the 34-year-old Serbian was currently being detained at the address at Melbourne. His appeal against deportation is also being heard. Immigration Minister Alex Hawke claimed that Djokovic's presence in the country could foster anti-vaccination sentiment and even spark an increase in civil unrest. Meanwhile, Djokovic was summoned to appear before immigration officials in Melbourne ahead of emergency federal court hearings on Saturday and Sunday. He was allowed to follow court proceedings from his lawyer's office under guard of 2 Australian Border Force officers. Thank you, viewers. That's all for Nltv Primetime News. For more updates, keep watching Nltv. Sa manulagawas.